Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning in. This is the love read. For the main read, I'm using the Morgan Guerrero Tarot by Paul Foster Case and Arthur Edward Waite. For the supportive cards, oracle cards, when necessary, I'm using the Romance Angel cards by Doreen Virtue. I only pull them out as necessary. The first half of this read is going to be for couples. The second half is going to be for singles. Okay. What do we got going on here? Seems a bit curious. Alright, so Sagittarius. Alright, we're going to start with the tarot cards, and maybe we'll add some oracle cards, I'm not sure. So, where you're currently standing. Things are falling apart for your partner, and I feel like there's a bit of a conflict. You guys might be arguing about what's going on. I feel like they might have made a choice you didn't like. Or something changed on their side in some fashion, and you're not happy with it, and you feel like they could have done something to make that happen differently. Okay. So, where you're standing right now, it does get better, definitely, but I feel like how this is starting off, where you're currently standing, it's a little bit of discord. It's a lot of bit of discord, is what I'm seeing here. Something changed drastically on their side, and you're not happy about it. Even if they're coming forward like there's nothing I could have done, I don't feel like you're on board with that. You're kind of like, you could have done this, you could have done that. You're not happy about the change. You're not happy at all. Now, what seems to be holding back is interesting, because on their side they have the Ten of Pentacles, on your side you have the Nine of Swords. So on your side, it kind of like, I feel like you're feeling stuck and there's nothing you can do. You're feeling like you're bound to the situation, and that makes you feel powerless. That's holding you back. What's holding them back is they feel like they can just rely on you. Okay, so that's what this is. They're just feeling like they can rely on you and that it'll be okay and they don't have to worry about it all too much. Not totally? Okay, what are we talking about? They feel like they can rely on you to help them out. Maybe they're leaning on you a little too much. Okay. But the problem is, what's holding them back is just like, they feel like they can just rely on you to pick up the pieces. Okay. So this seems to be a problem, because you're feeling like you're stuck and there's nothing you can do, and you're forced to pick up the pieces, and they're depending on you to do that. This is not helping the situation. What is helping the situation, though, is I do feel there's a lot of love here. You have a lot of love for this person. And I don't feel like this lasts long. This situation here where you have to hold the majority of the weight, I feel like it's mostly financial burdens. It's a general read, but it's a relationship read. But whatever it is, whatever choice they made, you feel like you're stuck holding the bag, holding a lot of the finances on this one. I don't feel like this lasts too long. Maybe a couple weeks. For some of you, you might have been in this for a while. This might have been going on for a while. But something's changing here. I got justice on their side. So whatever happened in this situation, this breakdown, that they seem to feel that there's nothing they could have done to stop, something is going back in their favor due to that situation. For the most part. Some of you, it's a general read, so it could go a little differently. The main message here is things are going back into balance at this point. And this is coming in soon. Things are going to go back into balance. They're going to start pulling their side of the weight, pulling their part, and maybe pulling a little extra just to bring it back into balance. Okay. When this happens, I feel like it's very, very good for the relationship, which probably seems more than obvious. I feel like the weight is lifted. When they start pulling their side, again, I feel like you could almost cry. You're so happy. Like, I feel like that type of feeling is coming through. Like, thank God. Because I don't know what was going to happen if this kept going the way it was. So this does go back in. This goes back into balance. This, I feel like it's kind of mirrored with the 2 cups in the sense of like your relationship kind of goes back into the normal balance. Yes. Okay. Now, something is a little interesting here because what helps is I feel like you're continuing on doing what you do. You're continuing your work. I don't feel like you would just go to the, take a time out anyway, but I feel like you're still still doing double duty here, but it's not as stressful. I feel like now you're kind of, like, before Justice came back into the picture, you were doing kind of like double duty because you felt like you had to make sure things worked out. I feel like you're continuing to do double duty because you feel like you don't want to get stuck again. And you want to make sure that, you have some backup resource in case this goes wonky again. That's kind of what you're thinking. So you're still doing double duty, but instead of feeling you have to, now you want to. And I feel like you're kind of used to it at this point. So it's not as hard as it was originally, and now you're kind of used to it, and you're like, you know what, why don't I just get ahead? Since we've gone this far, why don't I just get ahead? Now, I do also have on the outside of them, this is on your partner's side, but on the outside of them, things are going back into financial balance for them. It might take a bit of work. I feel like they might have a few things. It might be a little stressful for them to get up to speed. I don't feel like it's an easy thing for them, but they've got the opportunity and they're fighting to keep it and they're working on it. I feel like this is another reason why you're still continuing the double duty, because whatever they've gotten offered, it's a bit of work and they're going to have to really hunker down to do this. You have faith that they can, but you're just like, you know what? One or two things. Either we're going to end up with some extra money and that'll work out one way, it's fine, it's always good to have a little extra. Or if things go a little south again, still okay, we're still going to be fine. I feel like that's how you're looking at it. But I do feel like the Sun card with the Ace of Pentacles on their side, and I'll be honest with you, below the Ace of Pentacles is the Ten of Rods, which is stress, a lot of burdens. I feel like even though there's a lot of burdens, they're very thankful for them, very happy to have them, but they're gonna succeed. I feel like it's gonna work out for them. Granted, it's a general read, but still, it looks like it's going quite well. Now, I feel like you're very supportive of them, and I feel like you might have to defend your partner in a social sense after this goes back to the good. You might have vented a little bit here and there about this and that and the other thing, and now it's kind of being pushed back on you in a social sense, but now you're kind of defending your partner, and you're like, you know what, I was stressed, but things are going back to the good now, we're fine. And I feel like, oddly enough, I really feel like you're kind of defending your partner in a social sense at this point. Okay. In the spirituality sense, I feel like your partner has been struggling to make it work. I feel like they've been trying, but they've, I don't know how it's been. I feel like there's a lot of internal battles going on with them. But they're fighting to keep going. They've fought to get where they are. They're going to fight to keep going. I feel like they're going to make it. They're just going to fight for a while to keep going in that direction. And it might go on for a little while until they're feeling really secure. Something tells me for a lot of them, it's going to be past the end of this year. Okay. You, on the other side, are very dedicated, and you're feeling like, you know what? It's better and worse. And we had a worse moment, now we're going back to the better. That's just how life is. I feel like you have this very stoic, would I say? No. Mature, standing, like, you know what? There's good times, there's bad times. You're going to have both. We went through a bad time recently, but it's going back to the good now. So I just feel like you're in this, very, these things happen. And we're going back to the good now. I feel like you're like, yes, I endured the dark. Now I'm going back to the light. I feel like that's how you're looking at it. So this is, overall, I feel like this is pretty good. I feel like, though, when you're starting this read, depending on what part of the situation you're in, there's some upheaval. For some of you, I do feel like it's been an upheaval for a few months. And you might just be waiting for like your partner to like find something or do something that moves this in a better direction. And it looks like it's going to happen any moment. It is a little bit of stress. I feel like you have confidence in them, but I do feel like you're kind of like a little cautious. You're trying to be realistic. You're like, just in case this doesn't work out the way we need it to, I'm just going to keep doing double duty. Not because I have to, but because I want to make sure we're prepared just in case this doesn't work out. And you know what? If we end up with extra, all the better. All the better. If it gets that bad, I can just stop doing the double duty. But it feels so much better because you're going from you have to you want to. And since you're in the I want to bucket, if you decide you really can't do it anymore, you just put down half the load. And it's fine. Although, I feel like the momentum you have going from it might be easier said than done. Okay. Anything else with this? So I guess this is turning up. This is going well. In the long run. So if you're in a rough spot now, hopefully this is giving you hope for things going better. And I feel like you're going to make out. I feel like it's starting to tip back into the better if it's been bad for a while or you're hitting a bad spot. Especially if you're in that beginning stage where it just happened and the tower just hit on your partner's side, to know that I feel like for some of you it could be like the 2 to 3 month time frame where the tower is kind of like stuck, and this person, and they're just not able to move to the next level yet, and then all of a sudden it just kind of moves in. I don't know. I don't really want to say all of a sudden, but it goes in back. Justice balances things out. Things go back to the way they were supposed to be. But you're still continuing with double duty just to make sure it does work out in the end. That way you're not, stuck. That way you do have some breathing room, some room to move if you need to. Okay. All right. So that's for the couples. And we didn't need the oracle cards on that one. So let's go into Sagittarius singles. Messages for Sagittarians single. Empowering messages to help them move forward in a way they want to find what they want, to give them insight. I don't know if we're there yet. Okay. All right, so all right, I am going to actually put out some oracle cards for this because there's a couple spots here that I'm kind of wondering. You're starting out in a position where you're kind of feeling like maybe you don't want to rock the boat. Maybe you're happy being single. Maybe. Or you're kind of nervous about repeating things that, okay. I'm thinking there's your overall energy is the finances and career and the burdens card. One of the burdens card. This is the 7 of Swords. This is like carrying on. The 10 of Rods feels the same way to me sometimes, depending on where it's positioned and how it's relating to other cards. I feel like you're continuing on. You've had some success in the past, but you're really holding on to some problems you've had. And the problems that you've come across seem to outweigh the good, and those seem to be what you're taking into the future. Instead of seeing about the good you've had, you're just kind of remembering all the bad, and you're seeing all the bad being possibility again. I feel like that's a big concern for you. Now, that being said, we have the 9 of Swords with the past life relationship going on here. I really feel like you're stuck. There's emotional baggage you're pulling in, and you're like, it's whatever happened in the most recent one. I feel like when that ended, it just highlighted everything from past relationships even before that have gone wrong, and you're just seeing all this negative. You don't want to, it's just like you're feeling like this is a pattern that you can't seem to break, and you're really worried about finding another person that's going to do the same thing again, that's going to do you dirty again. That being said, there is some good energy around you. Like the Sun card is around you. This is your environment. Like the environment is really good, but I don't feel like you're not seeing it. There's more of the past coming in. I feel like the basis of this is arguments, disagreements, problems, getting into relationships that you just end up having to fight for what you want. If you feel like you're being used, like it's just not working out, like you constantly have to squabble. You have to fight to get any type of support or any type of backup. Like it's become problem after problem. I feel like this kind of whatever problems in the past they seem to drag into the future. Well, not into the future. They dragged on for a while. You did overcome them, but it went on for so long that it's just like it's become really like a worry of yours. Like I don't need another situation like that. And I feel like that is really like holding you down very strongly. I mentioned this in my personal reads, probably a lot. I don't know how often I put it into these reads, but one of my favorite authors is Paul McKenna. He's a British author. His last name is spelled Mckenna. How to Mend a Broken Heart. I want to say that's the name of the book. That can help you with this. It can help you step away and identify actual patterns and notice them before they become a problem, and also allow you to move forward in a direction you want to get what you want. I'm just putting it out there in case you want to try that. Now, we have the Seven of Pentacles with the High Priestess for the center here. These are like what's going on in the situation now. Usually this one leads to this one. I feel like you're wondering what you want to do. I really feel like these pentacles, you feel like they're poisoned. And I shouldn't laugh. I apologize for that. The High Priestess, you're just kind of feeling, I don't know. I feel like she's trying to bring balance to the situation. You're trying to be hopeful. I almost feel like these cards are contradictory because I'm looking at this card here and I'm feeling like everything I look at, everything that's around me is poisoned. And there's possibilities, there's a lot of things around me, but I feel like you're looking at it like, there's with every one of these pieces of fruit, there's a thorn that's going to get me. Or I'll crack open the seal and it'll just be air inside or it'll be rotted. Like, I feel like this card feels tarnished to you. Granted, normally this is not a negative card. But I feel like due to the cards around and where you're standing and your overall energy, I'm really feeling like you're not seeing this as a positive thing. On the other hand, I do feel like there are good things around you. The Sun card is saying that these possibilities are good possibilities you have around you. I just don't feel like you're seeing it that way right now. Due to the past and how much trauma and what's been going on, the last one, it's just been compounding. The High Priestess, I feel like you're trying to not see it that way, but I feel like you feel that deep down. Okay. I feel like you feel that. I love saying that, don't I? That being said, things come your way. Possibilities, choices. The Two of Pentacles, a lot of times, is juggling things. Sometimes it's balancing things. It can denote a few things. I'm feeling like you have a choice to go forward with somebody who's around you that wants, there's a couple possibilities, and you have a chance to move forward with one or two of them. The Ace of Rods means it's right in front of you. I'm noticing it's a bit above you, so it's like a possibility. It's right there. And you can start this. You can get right into this if you want to. But this is where the past comes in. The Ace turns into the Hanged Man, and then I feel like you retreat. Literally, like that's the retreat card right there. I don't know if you can read the word if my finger's not covering it. You're feeling stuck. Your emotions are really damaged at this point. You're really hurting from the past, and you're really worried about it. You're feeling like you're just setting yourself up for another fail, and you can't do it, and you walk away. I really feel like that's what's happening here. Your end result, it's the Eight of Cups. Walking away from all this, you're walking away from all this. And then you have the Three of Pentacles right next to it. And you're feeling like you just got to do more. I feel like you're aware that you have to do some more work on yourself so you can recognize these things before you get stuck in something you don't want to be stuck in again. And you're deciding that you're just not ready. I feel like that's why you're walking away. You're just deciding you're just not ready to take this chance. You're not ready to do this right now. So you walk away. I'd like to say that you could change your mind and go in a different direction, but I feel like for the majority of you, when you walk away, even though this possibility is here, you're not feeling you're ready for it, and you don't want to get involved that way right now. So I feel like you need time for yourself, and you're aware of that. You're just emotionally not ready to get into another relationship, so you step away. And for some of you, I even feel like you're not even realizing that until the offer is right in your face, and you have like an anxiety, like that shortness of breath moment, and you're just like, oh my God, I can't do this. And you didn't realize it until you get face to face with that possibility. Like this relationship is right there in front of you, and you're just like, oh, I can't do this. I just can't do this. And exit left. That's it. Done. And it's not like it was a bad possibility. I feel like it was a really good one, but you don't want to. You really don't want to. And I feel like there's an anxiety moment there, like a literal anxiety, like I can't do this. And you just exit left and you're done. And you need time for you. You need time to heal. There's things from the past. For some of you, this might come around again a little later. For others, I feel like this is just something that had to trigger something for you so that you could take time to yourself. I feel like it had to come face to face with you so you realized you did need a break and just have some time for yourself. But definitely, I see, if this reading resonates for you, I do see you walking away. Like I see Eight of Cups with the Three of Pentacles. It really makes me feel like you're walking away and you're deciding, I'm going to take time for myself. I just can't do this right now. I can't. No matter how good this looks, how great this person is, I can't do this right now. I can't. Okay. Alright, I feel like that's kind of this one's been said. I get to these parts and I feel like they've gone kind of quickly and I'm like, is there anything else? And I'm not seeing anything. Okay, so that's it for the love reads. Of course, if you would like a direct read from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you for watching.